quarter number 2 here on Fox Sports Indiana. We open up our coverage this morning with a game between two teams from Northeast Indiana. Inside Bankers Life Fieldhouse this morning, it's the Garrett Railroaders and Lakewood Park Christian to open up our coverage here at what will be a very busy Bankers Life Fieldhouse throughout the day. Alongside former WNBA player Tully Bevilacqua, I'm Pat Boylan. Tully, as we get ready for game number 1 here, two teams coming in on two very different circumstances. For Garrett, they played just last night. Lakewood Park Christian has not played since December 18th, 19 days ago.
Well, that's the million-dollar question, but they have youth on their side, so I don't think that's going to be a factor, having had the rest or playing last night, barring no injuries from last night's game. I think they're both going to come out with a lot of adrenaline. It'll probably take the first 2-3 minutes to calm those nerves.
All right, let's take a look now at our starting lineups. They're presented by Master Jewelers for Garrett, a team that's not afraid to let the three-point shot fly. They've hit a school record 11 in a game already this season. Their leading scorer, Mackenzie Castleman, a 5'6" junior, their best three-point shooter as well for the Railroaders. As for the Panthers from Lakewood Park Christian, they're 9-4 on the season, in large part thanks to Hayden Fowler, who's headed to Grace College, the 5'9" senior, after this season. Grayson Fetters in the backcourt as well, a player to watch, the sophomore, averaging around 12 points per game. The Garrett Railroaders are led by Bob Lapadot, who has 100 wins in his 7th season at Garrett. His team last year at 14-9, they lost their sectional opener. At 5-10 this season, Garrett comes from Class 3A. Lakewood Park Christian, led by Amy Bartkowiak, in her 2nd season as a head coach. Her first time being a head coach at a program is here with Lakewood Park Christian. These two teams from schools about 5 miles apart, just north of Fort Wayne. As we get ready here for the opening tip, Tully, Garrett, a bigger school, a team that likes to shoot the three. Lakewood Park Christian at 9-4, one of the top teams in Class 1A.
Well, that's right. So the Panthers better be ready for those box out on the perimeter, but Garrett will look to play a 4-out, 1-in style of basketball. So, as you said, spread it on the perimeter, look to go to work down low.
Lakewood Park Christian wins the opening tip. This is Chloe Jolloff. She is just a freshman and yet thrown into the starting point guard role here for the Panthers this season. She's been terrific at just under 10 points per game. Lakewood Christian averaging about 45 points per game this year. As Garrett, you see them open up in that zone. It's out of necessity, and an early 3 falls for Hayden Fowler.
Well, that's a great way to start the game for Fowler, and that'll boost her confidence. But as we saw then, Garrett coming out in an expected zone. They will probably play zone for the majority of the game.
The Garrett Railroaders like to let it fly from beyond the three-point line. They hit 11 earlier in a game this season. That was a program record. That first shot off the mark. Getting a look here at Libby Detcher. This 4-out, 1-in offense. It creates pressure around the perimeter. And Lexi Baver has an answer on the other end for Garrett.
Well, she made sure of that one there, but as you saw, the drive created the double team, which led her open for that 3-point shot.
Bob Lapadot, the head coach, Bob Lapadot, the head coach of Garrett, says this zone defense is out of necessity. They aren't quite as deep. They aren't quite as athletic in years past. A year ago, they were 14-9 on the season. Grayson Fetters from the baseline, her shot off the mark. And Detcher has it for the Railroaders.
Good box out right there. And like I said, when you're playing a zone, when that shot goes up, you just have to find a player and box them out. As we see another 3-point shot going down there now. So like we predicted, there's going to be a lot of 3-point shooting going on.
And a great start for Lexi Baver. She averages around 4 points per game. Already has the opening 6 here for Garrett. Another 3 flying the other way. The offensive rebound going to Fetters. And the putback will put her on the line. She got bumped.
Again, we're going to be seeing zone all game here, I would suspect. So when that shot goes up, every player has to find a body and box them out. So as we saw, offensive rebound, that's the one thing that you're very susceptible to in a zone defense.
Fetters is a sophomore. We've got a game here where these two players, these two teams are playing at Bankers Life Fieldhouse for the first time in their careers. Not a lot of opening jitters, at least so far.
No, they've both come out firing, and you know, I remember our game last year with Carmel, and same thing. The players just came out as if they'd been playing on this floor before. So that's great to see that confidence level.
Garrett wearing the maroon jerseys here this morning. Mackenzie Castleman, she'll play the point guard position at around 9 points per game inside to Sobieski.
You can see that 4 out, 1 in. A lot of passing around the perimeter, trying to find the open player.
No shot clock in high school basketball, so something to be aware of. These teams can take as long as they want on any possession. Sydney Weaver, who started a handful of games this season. That's her from the three-point line, and early a 3-for-3 start from distance for Garrett.
What was that about nerves I was talking about earlier? Forget that.
They've hit 11 in a game. They will not be afraid to let it fly throughout the morning as Fowler tries to answer, and Baver pulls it down for Garrett. Garrett Railroaders a year ago were 14-9. They lost in their sectional opener and then lost 85% of their scoring. So this is a young team, a team in transition in a lot of ways after that 5-10 start.
You can see the penetration, and the perimeter players are ready to catch and shoot, and that's part of shot process. So Weaver there knocking down the three.
As we see Cassidy Randall checking in, she'll come in for Maddie Hart. Solely, this is a revolution in a way of the game of basketball. Of we have seen more three-pointers taken, more players around the perimeter. It's not just at the NBA or even the WNBA level. We started to see it filter down to the high school and even further.
And that's right, and it's not just your guards. It goes all the way through to your forwards who are now shooting the three-point shot.
As a guard here for the Indiana Fever, you played on this court a lot. Maybe the end of your career was the start of that transition, but it would be, I would guess, a very different game for you even to play it now. It's
a totally different game. You know, every player has to be ready to be an offensive threat. Back in my day, I was probably known more as a defensive stopper, but it's the athleticism, the versatility of the players now. It's just fun to watch, great to watch. And the Panthers, one of their style of plays that they want to start to bring into their game is a run and fun style.
That run and fun style from Amy Barkowiak in year number 2 here at the helm of Lakewood Park Christian. They'll work the post to Randall. She spins on Bodie, and Bodie got the block.
Great defense there by Bodie. She just walled up. And she's been out for a month, too, with injury, so she's just coming back. Might take her a little bit to get her rhythm.
A 5'9" junior. You see the size she has in the post. Certainly a presence down there for Bob Lapadon's squad. Mackenzie Castleman is the leading scorer. She's running point guard as Bavers hit a couple threes already. There's 2 off the mark. And Fetters pulls it down for the Panthers.
Panthers coach wants them to get that ball and get out and run. If they can get early transition points so they don't have to set up in this offensive zone structure, it'll be more to their advantage.
That'll stay with Lakewood Park Christian. We have a full day of coverage, well over 12 hours of coverage here on Fox Sports Indiana throughout the day. Bankers Life Fieldhouse will be a very busy place. 3 high school games, and then Pacers versus Bulls to close the night. There's Hayden Fowler.
Fowler getting open there on the baseline play. Coach Bob Lapadop, though, for Garrett, has said that his team doesn't have speed, although he wants them to score quickly in transition.
Castleman nearly threw it away, and it is Garrett's first turnover on the morning.
Garrett averages just over 14 turnovers a game, so taking care of the basketball will be big for them.
A look at all the coverage we have coming up today on Basketball Day Indiana. Fox Sports Plus, Fox Sports Indiana, high school, college, and then ultimately we'll end with the pros here. Pacers and Bulls at Bankers Life Fieldhouse tonight with Kristen Aria and Quinn Buckner. And there's Hayden Fowler. She already has 7.
Well, that's why you can see she has been sought after with that shot. And she started off on fire here today.
Fowler going to Grace College next season, so her playing days will continue. Here's Sydney Weaver. Baver bouncing for Bodie. Her turnaround shot too long, and Joloff has it. Freshman point guard, you see, trying to kick up that intensity, quick to kick up the pace.
Definitely. She's been hearing her coach on the sidelines enforcing that, push the ball, especially off those offensive, defensive rebounds.
But a turnover, an early 9-9 start here from the Fieldhouse. Pat Boylan alongside Tully Bevilacqua. We'll be with you for this one. And then on Fox Sports Indiana, Pike and North Central is the game after this one. Year number 2 of Basketball Day, Indiana, from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Mackenzie Castleman has yet to score as Randall comes up with the turnover for the Panthers. Joloff in transition finds Fowler. Her shot couldn't go, and the rebound to Detcher.
One of the keys to winning the game here today by the Panthers is to defend that three-point shot. So they've got to be cautious of not over-helping on the drive, so that allows that free shot that they're trying to take away.
Lexi Bavers hit a couple already. This one will go to Lakewood Park Christian. Bob Lapidotte has had to adjust this season with so much turnover in the offseason. 85% of their scoring has moved on. A lot of ways you can counter that if you have a couple good shooters with the three-pointer.
Well, that's right, but as you said, when you lose 85% of your scoring power, you know, you've got to then restructure with a new group, find out who you can count on now to try and pick up some of those lost players.
A nice drive by Chloe Joloff into the teeth of the defense, and Joloff going to the line for 2. She's just a freshman at 10 points per game. You talk about breaking down the zone. I think it's a bit of a misnomer that you can't dribble on it. In fact, you can, and that's often some of the way that you can get defenders out of position.
Most definitely. You want to break it down with either the pass or the dribble. So getting quick ball movement is key. Moving the zone defense from one side to the other, and then you want to attack off that penetration. Try and get into the belly of the keyway. Make that defense have to sag in, and then you'll find your open perimeter players for that three-point shot.
A pair of free throws for the freshman Chloe Joloff. Castleman looking for her first 2. She gets to the rim. Her shot wouldn't fall. And the rebound to Randall.
She found the opening lane on that one. Unfortunately, went with the right hand. Had she gone maybe with that left-hand layup, giving herself a better angle.
A 6-0 run for Lakewood Park Christian after Garrett jumped out to a 9-5 lead.
Just a little stagnant right now. The ball needs to get moving a little quicker around the perimeter. Try and find a post player.
Fetters on the fake, and Fetters called for steps. Garrett has opened up 3 of 9 from the field. Lakewood Park Christian is 3 of 10 shooting. We've already seen 3 three-pointers. In fact, all of the Garrett points have come from that three-point line.
And you spoke about the school record that they broke not long ago, hitting 11 threes in one game.
And this is an area of the game now at the high school level that's very different from every level above it. The shot clock is off, and when do you determine you want to try to take the last shot? Castleman looks like she wants to go, and a turnover on Garrett. They will say Libby Detcher picked up her pivot foot.
Well, unfortunately, that's not what you want to happen. You know, you want to run that clock down. Maybe they shouldn't have started that process of passing the ball until getting down closer to around that 10-second mark and then trying to attack.
Joloff with 7. Off the screen, Joloff will bounce. Fetters puts it up. She got it in a foul. We see already just a freshman, but Chloe Joloff causing problems for opposing defenses. She gets to spots on the floor and then finds Grayson Fetters, the sophomore, who can finish the quarter off with a three-point play. Her shot off the mark, but it's an 8-0 run for Lakewood Park Christian, and they'll take a 4-point lead through the first quarter here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Game number 1, year number 2 of Basketball Day, Indiana. We'll have the second quarter coming up next.
Made the buying process easy and actually fun. Great price and kept everything professional yet simple. Knowledgeable about their vehicles and a pleasure doing business with. That's not from us. That's from our customers. We at Penske Chevy listen to what's important. Give us the opportunity and we'll deliver the experience you deserve. With our Penske Promise, low price guarantee, 3-day return policy, top trade-in value. Not only do we guarantee our cars, we guarantee you'll love yours. Find new roads at PenskeChevyIndy.com, home of the Penske Promise.
Something's not right.
My first symptoms were
constant tingling in my toes.
my legs, sometimes I'll go numb.
Had double vision.
They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Well, the beginning is the hardest time.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
We had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
I was a dancer. I don't see walking the way I walk any different than doing a dance. It just looks different. It's a different dance.
You see me have an off day, it doesn't take away from who I am.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
But I would exercise every day.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
To make a lot of changes in my life and just adapt to it.
I'm going to acknowledge its presence. I'm not going to discount it, but at the same time, I'm going to try my best to not let it stop me.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
Basketball Day Indiana is presented by St. Vincent. Inside Bankers Life Fieldhouse with the History Huskers from the movie Hoosiers. Pacers in year number 3 of honoring them. They will on Monday, the next Hickory game inside of Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Ready for quarter number 2. What did you see in the first?
Well, like we said before, both teams came out firing from the three-point line, and Hayden Fowler has started with a hot hand. She's 3 of 6. She was 1 of 3 from the three-point line. Obviously had the toes on the line there a couple of times, but you know, I think it was a pretty even first half. Obviously finishing with an 8-0 run there to finish the quarter out for Lakewood was a positive for them.
They're bringing a little full court pressure. Bodie tries to make him pay. Out to Castleman for 3. Her shot off the mark. Castleman, the leading scorer for Garrett on the season, around 10 points per game. We expect to see her get going here, but Lakewood on the defensive end, they allowed a couple early threes and have shored things up.
They sure have. But what I'd like to see from both these teams is quicker ball movement around the perimeter. Try and find your post player, kick it back out if there's any double team, or let your post player go one-on-one. But as we see, dribble penetration, kick it out to the open shot, and there you go right there.
That combination, Chloe Joloff to Grayson Fetters. The final 2 points of the first quarter. It's how we get started here in the second. And Lakewood with their largest lead. Here's Fetters on the steal. Joloff on the other end had it knocked away. It'll stay with Lakewood Park Christian, and we're starting to see some chemistry here with the point guard and the shooting guard.
Well, the Panthers definitely have turned it up a bit at the start of the second quarter, and turnovers was a key for Garrett, that they had to take care of the ball to have a chance in this game.
Dangerous pass inside, a couple of bodies on it. We'll see a jump ball as Camden Bodie reaching in along with Hayden Fowler, and the alternating possession will give it to Garrett. Lakewood, you mentioned they want to play in this what they call run and fun style. The best way to pick up the pace is to put on this full court press.
And that's right, especially when Garrett don't have really a true point guard. A few of the players are playing out of position, learning the point guard spot. So that's a great time to put full court pressure on.
Grayson Fetters the steal and knocked it out of bounds off of Garrett. So it'll go back to Lakewood Park Christian in the midst of a 10-0 run. Garrett jumped out to a 9-5 lead. They've yet to score since, and here's Joloff back to the line.
Joloff is starting to have a big impact on this game. But the Panthers coach has said that she wants her team to be a scrappy defensive team, and so she's extended the defensive pressure now to full court, and it's paying off.
Joloff averages 4.5 assists per game. She already has 4, her second trip to the line. She's now made all 3 of her free throws as Kira Richards checks in for Sydney Weaver of Garrett. Bob Labadot's team says they won't sub much. They've got to be a well-conditioned group from the unit he has on the floor, 7 deep. Perhaps they will go to 8. But you'll typically see the starting 5 for a majority of this game, and this 8-point lead for Lakewood, a 12-0 run, their largest, as Garrett continues to have trouble with the pressure. Baver gets it across midcourt. Detcher into the corner. Here's Richards. Her first look wouldn't go. And Priscorn brings it down. Jolloff looking to run.
That's it, pushing the ball up the floor, and Jolloff there looking to try and get that quick score. May have been unfortunate not to get a foul on that opportunity.
Castleman off to Detcher. Her three is long. You see Lakewood Park Christian starting to push the pace a little bit. They're starting to have more execution on the offensive end. They've already forced 6 turnovers from Garrett on the other end. The defense allows 37 points per game is their calling card. Randall in the post. Randall turns, and good defense from Bodie.
Garrett now looking to push the ball down the floor themselves. As I said, the coach would like them to score early in transition.
Detcher another look, and this one goes. 12 points for Garrett. They've all come from the three-point line. There's Libby Detcher and her first three.
Might be fair to say that whoever shoots the best from the three-point line.
Garrett certainly appears a team that's going to shoot the most as Fetters weaves in. Her baseline jump shot wouldn't go, and the rebound off to Bodie.
Fetters has started to become very aggressive now off the dribble, looking to get into that key ways. We see another three-point shot going up.
As Castleman still trying to find her range. This is the best three-point shooter for Garrett. A look now at Detcher's three from the corner. So 12 points for Garrett. It's come on 4 3-pointers. And Bob Lapadot and the Garrett Railroaders will take a timeout. A 17-12 lead early for Lakewood Park Christian. Garrett breaking that 10-0 run just a moment ago with a three-pointer, but Lakewood seemingly has some of the momentum gained on their side now. They're starting to play at their pace as well.
Well, and that started just before the end of first quarter with that foul, the potential three-point play that unfortunately the free throw was missed, but you could feel the momentum coming from the Panthers at the start of the second quarter. They've upped the tempo. They're really trying to push the ball now when they get that transition. When they get that defensive rebound, they're looking to push the ball in transition. So the speed of the game now has picked up as well.
We're very early in basketball day. Indiana year number 2. Here is what is on tap for the rest of the day. As we come to you before 10 a.m., we will still be with you at 10 p.m. As we have a handful of high school games. You'll see that whip around. That should be fun with Kristen Airy, Brian Hammonds, and the crew as they whip around 3 college games a little bit later in the day. Romeo Langford as well, a player that was on basketball day Indiana year number 1, basketball day Indiana year number 2. He makes his repeat as he tries to close in on Damon Bailey for the state's all-time scoring record. Has a while to go, but Langford, who can essentially go to whatever college he chooses. We will see him just a little bit later in the day on this floor.
Garrett sticking with that 4-out, 1-in offense, but that's a tough pass. That's a tough pass to make when you haven't really moved the defense at all.
It's their 7th turnover. Here comes Jolloff. It was tipped away and hit her on the way down. We'll go to Garrett.
No, I'm liking Jolloff trying to push that tempo, trying to be attacking. So she's making the defense now have to work.
She has 4 points, 4 assists. 7 have come from Hayden Fowler, but it's not often you watch a game at the high school level and you say the most impactful player, at least so far, has been a freshman.
Yeah, it all fares well for the future, isn't it?
Things looking pretty good in the present for the Panthers as well. 9-4 on the season, and leading basketball day Indiana here in the second quarter. Game number 1 by 5 as a blocking foul will go the way of Jolloff.
Jolloff called for the foul there, but Castleman, she really had her head down, so what she couldn't see was the Bodie who was posting up. She had her head down, and that can sometimes get you into a lot of trouble if you can't see the floor.
This is Castleman, the leading scorer. You can tell a very large focus of Amy Bartkowiak's defense, and a 3 coming from Lexi Baver. That's her 3rd.
And that's exactly what the coach wants when the opposition are trying to take away one of your star players, someone else needs to step up.
So Baver now has 9. We mentioned the school record for three-pointers, which they set this year, is 11. And Garrett right now has 5 of them on the morning. Fetter's on the baseline. Off the mark, trying to chase it down as Priscorn. She won't, and it'll go to Garrett. Another look at Baver, who opened up with a couple of threes, this time from the left wing.
Great preparation. She knew that pass was coming her way, and she just stepped into that shot, knocked it down. More full court pressure here by the Panthers. Some double teaming, making it hard for Garrett to bring the ball down the floor.
Richards had it knocked away by Fetters, and Richards touched it last. That three-pointer can be such an equalizer. Lakewood Park Christian, a couple of empty possessions. Garrett, on the other hand, gets a couple to fall, and they're right back within 2 points here as we close in on halftime.
You know, if Garrett can just take care of the ball and limit those turnovers, they're right in this.
Whistle down low going on Baver, the 5'9" junior. Baver averaging 4 points per game. She's already got 6 here in the first half.
2 of 5 from the three-point line she is. So she's pretty confident to knock that shot down when she gets the opportunity.
Joloff into Randall, and it got set the other way by Maples. Here comes Garrett, a chance to tie this one back up. They're on a 6-0 run. Baver with 9. Here's Castleman looking for her first scoring. Instead, it's Detcher, and that corner's been kind. Garrett has the lead. A timeout from Amy Bartkowiak at Lakewood Park Christian. A 10-0 run for Lakewood Park, answered with a 9-0 advantage for Garrett, and that three-point shot was falling early. They went into a little bit of a cold spell midway through the first, and it's starting to fall again here for the Railroaders.
Well, as you see, Castleman is getting defensive attention, so she's doing a great job now of attacking with the penetration, drawing the defense, and finding the open player, and her teammates are rewarding that by knocking down the shot now.
Amy Bartkowiak mentioned as we look at the Railroaders and Bob Lapidot's huddle. Bartkowiak on the other end mentioned that when her team struggles, it can be because of lack of confidence. So calling a timeout here, maybe trying to deal with some of that early.
That's right, and maybe what she might want to talk to her players about is possibly not over-helping. I mean, Castleman was, if you can just play her straight up, take away her three-point shot, keep her in front of you, but not over-help now on the perimeter players who are getting those open three-point shots, might be a change that she might like to make in this timeout.
And on one hand, while Lakewood Park Christian has put on this full-court press and they do want to pick up the pace, that does lend itself to better looks if you can break that press, better looks around the three-point line.
That's right. So we'll see what comes out now of this timeout, which team can utilize the benefit of sitting down and having that quick break.
It's a 9-0 run for Garrett. They trailed and have trailed by as many as 8 in this one. You see good ball movement there. It gets a good look for Fowler. Off the mark, Fowler comes in for the rebound, stripped away and into the hands of Castleman and Garrett. And they'll call a jump ball, so it'll stay with Lakewood Park Christian and the Panthers.
Well, Fowler had a good look at the basket then, but, you know, what I'm seeing is players diving on the floor for those loose balls. They're the 1% things that can really make a big difference in the game. So it's great to see that's still a part of basketball.
Left alone underneath, Hayden Fowler. She has 9, the leading scorer for Lakewood Park Christian. Baver has 9 as well for Garrett. Remember, this Garrett team played last night, a 48-31 loss to Central Noble, a game that tipped off at 6 o'clock up in Northeast Indiana. 6 o'clock p.m. and they're back here for a 9 a.m. start. You can't leave Castleman open. Her shot still continues to struggle. Castleman, the leading scorer at 9 points per game, looking for her first here this morning.
That's one of the first open looks she's had for a while now, so she'll be a little disappointed not to knock that one down.
Fowler has 9 and clear that the message from Bartkowiak is patience. Find a good look. Joloff on the baseline, had it stripped away. Randall is there.
Sobieski playing some good defense there, taking away that drive.
Bauer on the move, left it long. Under 1 minute to play until halftime. Stay with us. We'll have first half coverage, break down the first 2 quarters of this one. Also get a closer look at some of our games going on a little bit later.
That's unfortunate. There was some good patience there in offense then by Garrett. They worked the ball inside out.
And here's Joloff.
Joloff has been working hard, and it's finally paying off for her right there. She's been attacking off the dribble. She finally found one to go down for her.
This press stays on, but Joloff constantly probing. Worked around Kimberly Maples and got the layoff to go. Joloff with 6 points and 4 assists.
Panthers just need to be careful with this full court pressure. You know, they don't want to give up too many fouls.
Likely looking for the last shot here. We saw them turn it over in a similar situation in the first quarter. And they'll do it again here in the second.
You know, and again, going back to the fact that when you don't have a true point guard who can take over and handle the ball, that turnovers can happen.
And Castleman is playing point guard, not her natural position, according to Bob Lapidot. She's a shooting guard that, by necessity, has moved into the point guard role. And a moving screen on Lakewood Park Christian, so Garrett will get the last look here with 8 seconds to play until half.
Like I said, Castleman she's a shooting guard, and obviously her preferred spot, but having to take over the point guard duties has taken away from her offensive game.
2 seconds left to go. Favor won't get it up. A first half of runs. It ends with a Lakewood Park Christian 4-0 advantage as Joloff 4 assists. And a couple baskets on the other end. Joloff has 6. Lakewood Park Christian with a 21-18 lead over the Garrett Railroaders. Halftime coverage coming up on Basketball Day, Indiana.
As long as there is fear, as long as there is curiosity, as long as there are undiscovered corners of the earth, and as long as there is willingness and desire, then you are capable of more.
Dreyer & Reinbold BMW, Indianapolis, Greenwood, and at DreyerReinboldBMW.com.
Indiana Members Credit Union loves giving back to community, and so do I, especially when it involves kids. That's why I'm proud to partner with Indiana Members Credit Union to provide backpacks to local students for every shot I blocked this season. IMCU has already donated thousands of backpacks full of school supplies to help prepare students to succeed. And that's why I choose Indiana Members Credit Union, and you should too.
Your true love deserves to wear the brightest diamond in the room. But how do you choose the right one when some diamonds have a difference in price by as much as 70%? Introducing the Bright Crystal Diamond, an affordable brand whose inventory is proven to be in the top 10% of the world's most brilliant diamonds. Come and see for yourself how the Bright Crystal Diamond uses science and third-party technology to prove its inventory's brilliance and give you the added security when making this important purchase. The Bright Crystal Diamond. The difference is in the crystal. Master Jewelers, proud sponsor of Pacers basketball on Fox Sports Indiana.
Indiana Members Credit Union Pacers Live on Fox Sports Indiana.
It'll be a battle. We've got the coverage.
Keys to the game before it starts.
He's playing really good. You got to respect his ability.
Indiana Members Credit Union Pacers Live, 30 minutes before tip-off on Fox Sports Indiana. Stream Pacers basketball all season long on Fox Sports Go. Never miss a moment on your phone or tablet.
Oladipo went right around Cunningham.
Fox Sports Go, streaming the Pacers all season long. Presented by Metro PCS.
Here too, a Basketball Day Indiana inside Bankers Live Fieldhouse. We are at halftime of game number 1, a 21-18 lead for Lakewood Park Christian. We've seen the three-pointer, though, for Garrett be the equalizer. All 18 of their points, in fact, have come from beyond the arc.
Well, just when you think Lakeside are going to, draw away from Garrett, they knock down a few threes, and that can change the game dramatically. And as we said, they live and die by the three-point line, and they're 6 of 14 right now.
Well, we are just at the very beginning of Basketball Day Indiana year number 2. A look at what we have coming up in just a little bit. You and I will be on this call of number 3 Pike, number 1 North Central. That one should be fantastic. Two teams that met up in the regional final a year ago. A bit of revenge on the line, on the mind for the North Central Panthers. As we get throughout the day, we'll get into some college basketball, that whip around with Kristen Airy, Brian Hammonds and company, and then of course we will close things off with Indiana Pacers and Chicago Bulls inside Bankers Live Fieldhouse. But the premier high school game coming up a little bit later today at 12:15. It features 5-star recruit. It feels like we've been talking about him for 5 years already. Meet Romeo Langford.
Just so unbelievable to me that we'll go to an opposing gym and the fans from that school will cheer when he does something good, even though it's against the team they're supporting. So it's just been the things that have happened, the lines that form after the game for his signature or a picture, things I just haven't experienced before.
It takes a special player to become that type of celebrity in high school. And Romeo Langford is a special player.
He can do so many things. I mean, he can shoot it from NBA range. He can take you off the dribble. He can pull up. He can post up. There's just a lot of things that he can do offensively that I think teams have a difficult time stopping him.
He just does things that you look at and you go, I'm not sure I really saw that. He just has so much ability. He never shows any emotion. When we played Bloomington South, their coach, when asked to describe one thing about him that stands out, is his demeanor. No chest pumping, no fist in the air, no signaling I hit a three. He just plays the game.
It's unfair to try to put a ranking on Romeo, but it's certainly fair to say he's among the best to ever play high school basketball in our state.
But I think he's as good as anybody that's ever played in the state. To be able to say he's the greatest, that's always debatable.
Doing a chase now of the state scoring leaders, and I think Romeo's 14th right now. And I did some math earlier today. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Damon Bailey's 3,000 and something, but look for Romeo to be probably 4th in the state scoring leaders by the end of this year.
What are your goals for this year?
Go for every year in one state.
Is Mr. Basketball in the back of your mind?
Yeah, it's in the back of my mind, but that's not my main goal, really. I know if I just do what I do, that's going to come, but in the state, that's the main goal. Well, it's been a dream come true, really, for me, to have the opportunity to coach such a great talent as him. He's such a great kid, both on and off the floor, so you know, it's a blessing to be able to watch him play each and every day, each and every night against the opposition. But it's also a joy to have him around in practice and in the hallways because he's a consummate role model.
And we will see him and New Albany coming up just a little bit later at 12:15 on Basketball Day Indiana. First half stats coming up next from the Fieldhouse.
Being a business owner and a dad means a lot of people count on me. Having a bank who knows me and my business is a must. That's why I depend on First Financial Bank to help me see the big picture, whether I'm securing the perfect shot or capturing the little moments. They understand what's important. I trust First Financial to keep my success in mind and protect my most valuable assets.
Save now during Menards Winter Sale. Update your home with new flooring from Shaw. Vinyl plank is waterproof and easy to install. Citadel vinyl plank is $159 a square foot. Mason vinyl tile is only $199 a square foot. Update your bathroom with Lions. The Extra Deep Elite Tub and Shower includes a bathtub and 3-piece wall set, $449. The linear seated shower includes walls and shower base, $538. Now during Menards Winter Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm wrong. You're the one who misrepresented them.
Are you kidding? Your proposal is ridiculous.
You have no right to call anything.
You are the worst example of politics.
I stand for something.
Flip-flop.
I stand for something.
Flip-flop or flip-flop.
Your proposal is ludicrous.
My proposal will go exactly the way I say it will.
My dead body.
I think somebody needs a timeout.
That's the power of one.
I motion that
I be issued the timeout. And
Wow. Me too.
yeah, for sure, you should get a timeout.
I apologize.
And I motion that I start showing more respect.
Civility. Pass it on.
We're back inside Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Basketball day, Indiana. Lakewood Park Christian, a 3-point lead at the half of the Garrett Railroaders. As Lexi Baver opening up hot from the three-point line. You see 2 of her 3 three-pointers she knocked down in that first half. For Lakewood Park Christian, Chloe Joloff has been the instigator.
Yes, you see her knocking down that 3, but as we say, Baver, she's been the recipient of assists from Castleman, who's doing a great job of finding her open teammates. But Joloff, she really picked up the pace for the Panthers, and I think that's not going to slow down in this second half. She'll look to push the tempo for them, keep the ball moving, and become aggressive herself, looking to score.
Joloff has 4 assists in the first half. That's what she averages per game. A look here at your first half stats. 78% of the shots for Garrett have come from beyond the three-point line.
And we knew that before coming into the game that was likely to happen. But the stat I'm looking at right now is Garrett has yet to get to the free throw line. So that just goes to show you that they are very much a three-point oriented team, not looking to penetrate and try and score off that. Whereas the Panthers, they're actually looking to get into the keyway and score. So they're creating fouls and going to the free throw line. And that, to me, is where the difference is right now.
On the other end, the freshman Joloff instigating, finding her teammates open. And Grayson Fetters, she has 9 in the first half.
That's right. So I'm pretty excited about this second half coming up. I think we'll find that whoever can get out of the gate early in this third quarter might kind of lead them well into the fourth quarter.
Lakewood Park Christian had a 12-0 run in that first half, led by as many as 8. They're up by 3, but the Garrett three-pointer has kept the Railroaders close.
My son was marrying a woman from Japan, and the wedding was going to be held in Tokyo. I said, keep her. After he told me that they were getting married, I was in touch with Forum within the next 3 days. Forum Credit Union helped me set up a credit card that would work internationally. We did everything in Tokyo. The wedding, we saw temples, went to Forum. They made it happen.
Can you say start your engines? We'll hand you the keys.
It's official, Napleton Hyundai of Carmel is now here, and we're rolling out the welcome mat. Our inventory is priced to sell. That's right, Napleton Hyundai of Carmel is having a massive sales event all month long with low lease payments.
Our mission is to be #1 in customer satisfaction. The race is on. Napleton Hyundai of Carmel and Indy. It's a win-win.
Napleton, second to none since 1931.
Cheap furniture. Nice game system. New job. Steady girlfriend. Wedding. Dog that serves as a practice child. Little kid. Little kids. Oh. Big kids. Big changes. So, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or covered too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
The most anticipated moment in racing.
It's one of the great scenes in all of sports.
Back inside Bankers Life Fieldhouse as we get ready for the third quarter of play alongside Tully Bevilacqua. I'm Pat Boylan. A look now at your leading scorers. Hayden Fowler with 9. Fetters and Joloff each with 6 points apiece. Lexi Baver, those 3 three-pointers. She hit a couple early and then hit 1 in that second quarter. She has half of the points for Garrett. If you're Garrett, you obviously like how you're shooting the three-point shot. It's kept you in this game. Would you like to see him a little bit more diverse, or do they have to stick with what's working?
Well, what I would like to see is actually Bodie getting a little bit more of the ball inside, they'll always still be able to find an open shot from the three-point line. But if one of these teams can get their post players involved more, both are sitting at 0 points each for the game, that could go a long way to determine who might win this game.
If you are Garrett, the Railroaders, you like the fact that your leading scorer, Mackenzie Castleman, who's playing point guard, she has been called the most diverse basketball player on the team and playing the most diverse basketball of her career by head coach Bob Lapidot. You like the fact that she hasn't scored, and you guys are right in the game. They took a lead midway through the second quarter, and there is Castleman and the Garrett Railroaders opening up the third quarter of play as Lakewood Park Christian went on a 4-0 run to close the first half. That first shot into Bodie wouldn't go.
You know, and that's a shot she has to knock down. So great start trying to get the ball inside, but Bodie just has to knock that shot down.
Chloe Joloff with 6 first half points, 4 assists. And a traveling called on Fetters.
It's about the third or fourth travel that we've seen for the game today. So players taking that quick step before putting the ball down.
We mentioned 78%. 14 of the 18 Garrett shots in that first half came from the three-point line. That's the team they are. They're not going to go away from their style, but you have to believe that Bob Lapidot saw that and said we need to be a little bit more even here in the second half.
Castleman, she's trying to work the ball around. She's, you know, getting that mix of being that point guard, but still looking to create her own shot.
Baver off the screen from Castleman. Baver's hit 3 already. She'll pull up from 2. And already the first 2 shots from Garrett have come from inside the arc, unsuccessful. Here's Joloff pushing the other way in transition, sent it long for Fetters, and a turnover for the Panthers.
Joloff still looking to push the ball. Unfortunately missed the mark there on that pass, but I really like the intent to try and get that transition game going.
The Panthers have turned it over 8 times. They forced 9 first half turnovers from the Garrett Railroaders. And here's Castleman. She'll go to the line looking to earn her first points from the free throw line.
Well, Castleman being a lot more aggressive then off the dribble to the basket. As you can see, she took the bump, tried to get the shot up. But what she's been doing is pretty much going east and west on that dribble. But this time she went straight to the basket and created the contact.
She's an 83% foul shooter. Her first rolls off. So after we saw Garrett take a total of 4 two-point shots in the first half, 2 here early in the third quarter, and it's Castleman driving and Castleman splitting her free throws to pull Garrett within 2.
And it's a good battle going on between Fowler and Castleman. Obviously Fowler having a bigger impact on the offensive side for the Panthers. But she's got the defensive task now of keeping Castleman down.
Garrett played last night, so that'll be something to watch as the game continues to roll on, as Bodie called for reaching in on the entry pass to Randall.
Fetters looking to try and pass it into her post player. Just needs to create a little bit more space between her and the post player to get a better pass angle.
And a 5-second call as Lakewood Park Christian couldn't get it in. If you're Garrett here, you have this back-to-back, and that might not even be doing things totally fairly, as a back-to-back typically means 2 games at night, or at least the version of the phrase that we're used to. But Bob Lapidot actually said it's a really good opportunity, because once you hit sectional time, that week is crazy, and this potentially good preparation for that.
As you can see, like I spoke earlier, post players now stepping out and hitting that 3, and maybe that's where Bodie's going to get her touches now. But yeah, this is great preparation for these teams. You just got to bring your A game every day. But right now, they're having, you know, to be on this floor, to be playing in Bankers Life Arena for the first time in their careers is a huge thing for them at this age.
The freshman Joloff. Fowler on the step back, off the mark. And there's Bodie, who hit the 3-point shot a moment ago to put Garrett back in front. And they started off on a 5-0 run here to start the third quarter.
Garrett working the ball around the perimeter.
Bodie, she hit one a moment ago. That one won't fall. And Fetters has the rebound for the Panthers.
Well, she was feeling it. She was feeling confident from the previous shot, so she just let it fly. Like I said, if she's going to get her touches, why not from the three-point line?
Anymore, even if you grow up a post player, you start to see those players taking perimeter shots at a young age, and that one goes for Becca Priscorn. But you look at a player like Camden Bodie, she has a pretty good-looking stroke from the three-point line. This is not something you would have seen 10, 15 years ago.
Well, the way the game has developed today, and I mean, you watch the WNBA, there are many of the post players now that can step out and shoot that three or take it off the drive now to the basket. So the game has become more athletic, more versatile, and players can play from 1 to 5 position, and it's just adapt to whatever the coach is asking them.
Weaver bouncing for Baver. She lost control. Joloff in transition, working right at Detcher. Doloff couldn't get the shot to go, and it's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Panthers.
Joloff being very aggressive there on the dribble. She sliced through to try and finish off on the right, but you know, unfortunately, she's just not making those shots. But she's putting so much effort.
Joloff thought about the three-pointer. Instead, will go down low to Fowler, and Fowler now has 11.
Great find there by Joloff.
Fowler is their
panic.
leading scorer, 13 points per game. But the composure from Joloff. The
composure, yep.
Especially from a freshman. This is a player that if you watch Lakewood Park Christian in the next 3 years, this year, the next few years, that's the player you're going to be seeing in the point guard position. She is the future. And when your future is as good as this, a great find in Fowler, the senior.
21 for 20.
Lakewood back up 3. And Sobieski called for a travel.
Sobieski trying to set the screen there initially for Cusserman to come off and see if she can either get an open jump shot, but not working on that play right there. Now Garrett setting up again in their zone defense.
As Maddie Hartz comes back in for the Panthers, here is Randall working on Bodie. Good defense from Bodie. She got that one deflected, and Randall touched it last. It'll go to Garrett.
Bodie playing great defensive play there, just walling up, not allowing Randall to go anywhere on that play. Randall probably needs to take a couple more dribbles now on her moves to try and get around the post player, not just turn and shoot.
Already 6 blocks for Garrett. You could have potentially given Bodie there the team 7th, but she's been that rim protector in the middle. They're looking for her in the post. Now working on Randall, facing the double. Bodie turns and scores.
Great play, great play. Bodie's doing a great job posting up down low. You've got to get her the ball. When you can see her number, give her the ball. Good things will happen.
So Garrett, which we saw nearly entirely rely on that three-point shot. They've been more well-rounded here in the third quarter. Priscorn trying to answer, and she'll head to the line. Another look here at the post moves from Camden Bodie. She saw the double team to her left, turn to the right.
No, that's a great play there right now, and she's full of confidence. She's knocking down the three. She's working hard on the post.
This is Becca Priscorn, a 5'9" senior to the line. Priscorn now with 3. 4 rebounds to her credit as well.
Doing a good job there of knocking both free throws down. An area that the Panthers are definitely taking advantage of.
They're 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Garrett, on the other hand, has been there twice. It was Castleman in this quarter. She hit 1 of 2. Here is Castleman, and she's called for carrying it.
Good call there. As she was trying to attack, just held it in her hand there for a little extra time. But, you know, I like what she's trying to do now. She's trying to attack to the basket, not just go around the keyway.
Castleman, a natural shooting guard, playing the point guard this year out of necessity. Joloff spins, a pretty move, left it short. And Bodie with the rebound. She continues to bring everything down here for Garrett. As the Railroaders kind of hanging around, you can feel they haven't played their best basketball yet. They're still hoping it comes here in the second half, but certainly giving themselves a chance, trailing by just 3. Castleman, you saw her give it a look from the three-point line. Instead, she'll drive.
Good defense and by foul, keeping Castleman out of the keyway. But Bodie doing a great job of attacking the ball. And like I spoke about earlier now, post players being able to put the ball down from the perimeter, and she's showing us what she's got. Definite foul there. Let's see if she can take advantage now at the free throw line and reward herself.
Andrew Bodie did not score in the first half. She's already got 5 to go with 5 rebounds. That's a really good-looking shot from a post player as well. When your center shoots it like that, it opens up a lot of possibilities, not just down in the post, but elsewhere.
It's like it took the first half for her to settle down. And we've spoken about how she has missed the last month of basketball with injury. So maybe now she's starting to feel her groove, and you can see her teammates definitely looking for her more.
Garrett has been outscored at the foul line by 6 here this morning and trailing by 2. They've hit 7 3-pointers, 7 of 16 from the three-point line. That's 44%. They've been plenty good from beyond the perimeter. But Bob Lapidat trying to make his team more diverse. They took 14 threes in that first half, 7 per quarter. They've taken just 2 here in the third.
We see Randall taking a break now for the Panthers. Jester coming on now to take that post position.
Fowler has 11. Joloff, the spin, the crafty move. The freshman gets it to go.
She's showing us some moves now. You see the spin move. Great finish there by Joloff. She's been great to watch today, just her attacking nature.
8 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. We had a triple-double from Amy Dilk of Carmel in the inaugural Basketball Day Indiana last year. It'll be tough for Joloff to get there, but she's putting up numbers all over the place. And there's Bodie once again, who continues her strong second half.
Well, what a great play by Detcher to penetrate, get her the ball. She made a great crossover move to get free.
So a 2-point lead for Lakewood, and this is kind of the in-between time. Do you want to try to hold? And if so, if you're Garrett, do you let them do that? No shot clock, so you can look to take that last shot if you want it a little bit later. Joloff, they go under. She thought about the 3.
We've seen both teams struggle in these situations. Well, there you go.
Becca Briscorn.
With 17 seconds to go, she decided, I'm going to shoot this. I'm feeling it.
Bodie has their last 8 the other way, off the mark from Sobieski. Joloff will let it fly. And the freshman shot is short. Lakewood had a 3-point lead after 2. They'll head into the fourth quarter with a 4-point advantage, but Camden Bodie with 8 points in that third. The Garrett Railroaders hanging around and hoping to make a run here in the fourth quarter. It's coming up next, Basketball Day in Indiana, the fourth quarter on Fox Sports Indiana.
Made the buying process easy and actually fun. Great price and kept everything professional yet simple. Knowledgeable about their vehicles and a pleasure doing business with. That's not from us. That's from our customers. We at Penske Chevy listen to what's important. Give us the opportunity and we'll deliver the experience you deserve. With our Penske Promise, low price guarantee, 3-day return policy, top trade-in value. Not only do we guarantee our cars, we guarantee you'll love yours. Find new roads at PenskeChevyIndy.com, home of the Penske Promise.
To get great care for your everyday life, you need more than an everyday doctor. You need one that listens. And that's just what Ascension doctors at St. Vincent do. Listening to you helps us see your whole picture. And with care teams who take the time to understand you, getting the care you need when and where you need it has never been easier. Find care that is right for you at GetStVincentCare.com.
Your true love deserves to wear the brightest diamond in the room. But how do you choose the right one when some diamonds have a difference in price by as much as 70%? Introducing the Bright Crystal Diamond, an affordable brand whose inventory is proven to be in the top 10% of the world's most brilliant diamonds. Come and see for yourself how the Bright Crystal Diamond uses science and third-party technology to prove its inventory's brilliance and give you the added security when making this important purchase. The Bright Crystal Diamond. The difference is in the crystal. Master Jewelers, proud sponsor of Pacers basketball on Fox Sports Indiana.
The freshman point guard for Lakewood Park Christian, Chloe Joloff. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and no 2. And this game has been prettier than that. The freshman has stolen the show here from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Basketball Day, Indiana. Fourth quarter underway. Lakewood leading by 4. They led by 3 after 2. Grew that advantage to 4 as we get ready here for the final period. Garrett has hit 7 3-pointers. 21 of their 27 points have come from beyond the arc.
Joloff showing us all her tricks, hasn't she? She's attacking off the left then and spinning around to finish on the right. Great finish for the Panthers. She's come out here trying to organize this offensive unit.
Hartz is called for traveling. If you're Garrett, you've hit 7 3-pointers. This is clearly what you do. If they're going to have a comeback, do you see it starting from there?
Most definitely, and it also has to include Bodie in that play as well. So whether it's her stepping out for the 3, but if they can knock down a couple of 3s, keep themselves in this game.
Bodie has 8 points, 1 shy of Baver for the team high. Bodie did all of that in the third. They'll go back to her. She had to swat it out. Cassidy Randall, the answer to her on the other end for Lakewood Park Christian, is not in. You can see them want to get it into Bodie. So far unsuccessful.
They just have to be careful now that they don't go away from looking at their own options. The focus just then was on Bodie, but as you see, we talked about that 3-point shot. Lexi Baver, she's been a big impact here for the Garrett team.
That'll give her a game-high 12 as Lexi Baver pulls Garrett back within 1.
4 of 6 from the 3-point line she is.
Jester trying to turn. Here's Priscorn. That mid-range jump shot's been hers.
And Priscorn, she scored 6 points in that third quarter, and her confidence level now, you can see it.
Priscorn has taken 3 shots, made all 3, 2 of 2 from the line. So she has not missed here from the field house. Weaver inside, there's Bodie.
Great pass by Sydney Weaver, finding Bodie. You know, if they can get a little bit more of that, they're going to benefit big time. And, you know, Joloff here trying to settle her troops down, get a good play, get the ball through hands.
Bodie now into double digits, all that scoring coming here in the second half. Joloff bouncing. Fetters from the baseline. That won't go. Here's Castleman. We give Castleman a lot of credit. The scoring has not been there, but she has 5 assists. That's her 3rd rebound. The point guard, here's Bodie. A bit of a heat check for her. As the Panthers holding on to this 1-point lead. They led by as many as 8. That was in the first half. Here's Joloff. And Bodie again there for Garrett, and she got fouled by Priscorn.
Great box out there by Bodie. Unfortunately, it was called, the foul was called, but she was off. I was interested to see what she was going to do with that ball, but she looked like she wanted to take that coast to coast.
The Garrett Railroaders at 5 and 10 on the season. They come from Class 3A. Garrett and Auburn, Indiana, where Lakewood Park hails from, about 5 miles from each other, just north of Fort Wayne. As Castleman dips in, she got it blocked from behind.
Great block then. Castleman looking to be more attacking.
Fetters had it deflected, and Detcher pulls it down for the Railroaders.
Both teams looking to score pretty quickly in transition. They don't really want to have to set up in quarter court offense.
Garrett has not led since the first half. A basket here would give them the lead with under 5 minutes left to play.
And we talk about basketball being a game of runs. You know, it truly is. You know, Garrett have just held in there. We thought the Panthers were going to take off with the game with their fast style of play, but it's amazing how the 3-point shot can change things pretty quickly.
Fowler underneath. Do we get a jump ball? And it is. A jump ball will head the way of Garrett. So right on the doorstep here, trailing by 1 on the defensive end after struggling in that second quarter. Garrett's played a nice second half.
They have the opportunity now to take the lead on this play. with just over 4 minutes left in this quarter.
ISO for Castleman. Castleman spins, gets inside, draws the double. And a good deflection from Joloff allows the Panthers to regroup on the defensive end. And now a steal. Fetters into the passing lane. And Grayson Fetters through contact will go to the line.
Pat, just going back to that last play by Garrett on the offensive end, Weaver needs to be ready to shoot that ball. So if Castleman drives, draws the defense, she's got to be ready to shoot. But Fetters taking it hard to the basket, earning herself 2 free throws.
The sophomore hits the first. If Lakewood is able to win, you'll look at the foul line as a large region. They're 9 for 10.
I was about to say, this is where you don't want to put them. They shoot the free throw extremely well.
A couple of calm free throws for Grayson Fetters. She now has 8. Hayden Fowler, the leading scorer, with 11, but it's been balanced scoring. Joloff with 8. Priscorn with 8. Fetters with 8. And then Fowers has the other 11 for the Panthers, who go back up 3. Remember, this is a Garrett team who's hit 8 3-pointers. They're shooting it well from beyond the arc at 42%. And a couple of possessions, a couple of threes from Garrett, we could be looking at an entirely different game.
That's right. Panthers trying to put a little bit more full court pressure on. They were successful in the first half when they applied full court pressure, creating some turnovers. We see Castleman getting away possibly with another carry there.
Bodie tried to save it. They'll say it was Garrett's anyway and hit out of bounds before Camden touched it. So the Railroaders catch a break and keep possession here. Into Bodie. And a traveling on the center, Camden Bodie.
They called for the travel. She was possibly going to be called for the charge if the travel wasn't called. Good defensive positioning there.
Now if you're Lakewood Park Christian, you see Amy Bartkowiak tell her team, let's play a little bit slower, let's walk it up, let's get a good shot every possession, and no need to be in a hurry up 3.
And they're doing exactly just that, being patient, working the ball inside out.
Garrett has forced 11 turnovers. They've committed 14 on their own end.
Garrett are doing a very good job of securing the ball after the missed shot. They haven't given up too many offensive rebounds to the Panthers.
Favor had her shot deflected. Joloff comes down with it, and you see head coach Amy Bartkowiak demanding her team, let's play slower. I know running is what I ask you to do for 30 minutes a game, but they want to be in the half court. They want to execute here in the final 3 minutes.
You can see Joloff, she could see that basket and her eyes lit up as she's trying to attack, but the coach was calling for her to slow it down, organize.
Weaver applying pressure on Joloff.
Just working the clock down, aren't they, right now?
Panthers are content with the ball in their sure-handed freshman's hands. As we close in on 2 minutes left to play, the Panthers lead by 3, and this is where strategy at the high school level will be very different than the college level, the pro level that we'll see later today.
In the end, Weaver there being called upon to commit the foul.
And this might be what you have to do. If you're Garrett and you can't get steals, the only other way to create possessions is to foul. The issue is Lakewood is 10 of 11 from the free throw line.
This is probably one area of the game that is, can be a little frustrating to watch, where you can just have one team holding the ball, especially with no shot clock.
So that is the 6th foul now on Garrett. The next one will put Lakewood Park Christian into the bonus.
Garrett now applying the extra defensive pressure, and you can see them getting some deflections now on the ball. That's what they have to do. They want that ball back.
Priscorn thought about it, works it back out to Joloff. 1:40 left to play. A 3-point lead for Lakewood Park Christian.
Detcher defending the ball. She's got to be jabbing at that ball.
Joloff got rid of her for a moment, nearly a turnover, but it's brought back down by Lakewood Park Christian, and they'll be headed to the line. Basketball Day Indiana is presented by St. Vincent. (35-32), so now it'll become a game of free throws as Hayden Fowler heads to the line. A single bonus, first free throw, gets it to go.
Garrett are in a difficult position now, knowing they have to commit the fouls, and you're putting a very good free throw team to the line.
About 92%. Until that miss, they were 11 for 12 and a 4-point deficit for Garrett. 120 to try to get back into this one. Castleman. Into the corner, here's a look, and it falls.
Like we said, a three-point shot can change things in an instant.
Hannah Sobieski knocking that one down for Garrett. That's her first three. And now a one-point game with 1:13 to go. If you're the Panthers, you've still got the lead, you've got the ball. Things looking a little bit more tenuous, and the foul line becomes even more important.
It'll be interesting to see whether or not the Garrett coach will get his players to try and apply some defensive pressure first to see if they can force a turnover before having to commit that foul. So it'll be interesting to see how many seconds he wants to use up on the clock.
Garrett has 35 points. 27 of those have come from the three-point line, where they've shot 45%. This is a team that their bread and butter is from distance. As Baver and Bodie, that duo, 8 of 19 from the floor. Bodie hitting a three-pointer early. Baver got us started with a couple of threes.
And while Castleman might not be doing it on the scoring side of things, she's definitely getting that ball now to the open player. She had the assist on that last three-point shot by Sobieski.
.113 left. If you're Garrett, still plenty of time to try to force that turnover first. You don't have to look foul right away if you don't want to.
That's right, and obviously the Panthers will look to get the ball into Joloff's hand. She's the primary ball handler here. But like I said, you've got to apply pressure. You've got to be jabbing at the ball. Get Joloff to have to worry about your presence.
We see some full court pressure here for the first time from Garrett.
Maybe you've got to throw a double team, try and trap Joloff.
There's a bit of a bump, no call. Until they want it in the hands of Joloff, Fetters, Fowler. Those are the primary targets to shoot the free throw if you're Lakewood Park Christian. Now under 50 seconds left to play. When does Garrett start to look foul?
I think you've let too much time go off the clock now. You either should have fouled about 20 seconds ago, but right now there's no real pressure where you're forcing them to make a pass.
It's still a one-possession game, even if they hit both free throws.
They're not giving themselves much time, though, should they miss their shot down the other end. That's the problem.
And there the foul does come at 28 seconds. But about 40 seconds off of that clock. Garrett clearly looking for that turnover.
Coach Lapadot was shaking his head down the end there, so I'm not sure if there was some miscommunication going on about when to foul or...
So the point guard, Chloe Joloff, the freshman who has 8 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Even 2 at the line here, as her first end of the 1-and-1 falls off.
Big possession coming up here for Garrett now. Castleman will obviously look to attack, see what she can produce.
Into the corner, another three. She hit one there earlier. Sobieski off the mark. The point guard, Joloff, pulls it down.
You've got to foul quick.
And they will with 11 seconds to go. A good look for Sobieski in the corner. In fact, an identical shot that she hit to make it a one-point game.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better open look. And like you said, she knocked down that three-point shot earlier. Just couldn't get it there. Fell short on the rim.
And we are still in 1-and-1 territory, as Joloff missed the front end of hers a moment ago. And you can see the sigh of relief. The shoulders drop a couple of inches as she sinks her first. Even both here, though, will give Garrett a chance at the end. 11 seconds left to play. They have to go the length of the floor.
Question is it a 2? Is it a 3? It's going to be a three-point shot needed here to tie the game.
Castleman has not hit a shot tonight. She's the leading scorer. She has it and double dribbles, and good defense coming on the other end from Hayden Fowler, who stepped in from the screen, caused the hesitation and the turnover, which they hope will win them Basketball Day Indiana Year 2, game number 1 here.
Credit to Fowler. She's been putting pressure on Castleman all game, kind of putting questions whether or not to pick the ball up, shoot, or keep dribbling. As you can see then, caught in two minds.
And a foul called on Garrett, as you could hear head coach Amy Bartkowiak wanting a timeout. But one free throw here with at a 3-point game, just 3 seconds left to play. Hayden Fowler can try to salt this one away from the line.
And unfortunately for Garrett, might just come down on a missed free throw here with a bit of a Hail Mary at the end.
They're into the double bonus. It doesn't matter. Fowler hits the first. And Lakewood Park Christian, who has led for a majority of this opener, but Garrett from the three-point line, they've hit 9 of them this morning. Fowler hits them both. One more look for the Railroaders. Bodie will get it away and make it. So the three-pointer goes from Camden Bodie. You see a smile on her face. But 5 points was the difference, and it's a 2-point win for Lakewood Park Christian. The Panthers holding on with just enough. 10 three-pointers, one shy of the school record for Garrett at Bankers Live Fieldhouse. But Lakewood Park Christian, just too much. 40-38. The Panthers are winner here in game number 1. This has been a production of Basketball Day Indiana on Fox Sports Indiana. Coming up next is Basketball Day Live on Fox Sports Indiana. Then at 10:30, it's the Pike Lady Devils against the North Central Lady Panthers. Tony Bevilacqua, I'm Pat Boylan. We'll be right back here with Pike North Central coming up in a little.